Hey guys, what's going on? So this is a video about a lot of things, but it's also about one thing. And that one thing is, why Banshee? And that is why that is the title of this video. And it stems from a question of if people ask me if I were to start my account over, what would I invest in? Or if I had to max out a unit, what would I max out? And my answer is always Banshee. If I had to restart and I don't have a high level Banshee, I want to say I have like a level 9. I'm currently in the process of upgrading it, but it's not good. I think it might be at max level 10. And the only reason you're probably like, you're on your account right now. Why don't you just check? I'm not checking because I want to stay on this so that I can go into my next point, which is something else. So like I do not have a high level Banshee at all. And if I were to invest into a card at the beginning of my game, like right now, you just started an account, what should you invest in? What should you max out? My answer is always Banshee. Banshee does ridiculous damage with very low crit. And I don't know, I don't understand how it does it. It doesn't have percentage damage. It's just like the interaction between Earth Elemental and it is just so good. And then when you max it out and you get the Banshee's Wail, it obviously becomes that much better. You are getting a Banshee because of the Banshee's Wail, but even without that, it is probably still very good. And it is very good because when you invest into it, if that is your first DPS unit, you can use it as a very effective DPS unit, and then once you start building up your other decks, once you start building up a Tesla deck, a Spirit Master deck, a Blade Dancer deck, a Bard deck, once you start building up a deck, you can then use your Banshee as a support unit and continue getting value out of it. When I built up my Blade Dancer to max, now that I have a Spirit Master deck, I'm not slotting in Blade Dancer into my Spirit Master deck. But with a Banshee, you can use it for a DPS deck as a good DPS card. It's not going to win you, like, it's not going to beat Bard. It's not going to beat, like, these high level things. But it'll serve you well as a DPS card, then serve you well as a random support card that you can just slot into most decks. The second thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly is this is the ridiculousness of my new the new crit based trophy. I'm in 7K trophies right now, and I am getting the most random opponents. So this is a Genie deck. This is probably the most even match that I had. I'm at 4920 crit. So you can look at that as basically sub 5K. I'm a little bit less than 5K, but anything that is within that crit level, I'll basically play. So this 4734 Genie Snowflake, it was a Genie Snowflake Witch match, which was very interesting. It went for pretty long, longer than I would have thought. And we got into like 55 seconds of Death Wave. It had to have been more than that. I'm pretty sure it was more than that. My immediate next match was Fortuna Spirit Max Everything 6027. Like I said, I am a sub 5K, so anything in that 4K range, I will always fight. 6027 was my next match after a 4734. It's like a level 14 Fortuna, max everything, double gold generosity. I just immediately quit. And then I played against this monk deck. He has 4772. He immediately quit to me. So then that was cool. I then got a 5230 level 20 Zeus maxed out Bard deck with a level 11 glasses, double gold counterspell. I quit to that. And then I got a 5126, which I was almost gonna quit. I saw that 5126. I was like, this is above 5,000. I'm gonna quit this. And then I looked at the deck, and it is the world famous Inquisitor Rogue Monk deck, the super meta Inquisitor Rogue Monk deck. I'm actually shocked that he went as far as he did. And then I got this maxed out Spirit Master Crystalmancer deck, and I was going to keep it when I saw the Crystalmancer, and then I saw the 5855 crit, and I was like, no. I'm less than 5,000. This is high 5,000s. I'm not gonna win. Like, I can play this out, but I'm not gonna win. And so instead of wasting my time with these, like, matches that I know I'm not gonna win, I will take the -9 trophy loss so that I could gain, like, 30, 50, you know, like, somewhere in that range trophies from matches that I know that I can win. At which point, I then got paired against this Banshee deck. Now, this Banshee deck has 3856 crit. It is a maxed out Banshee deck, level 17 Mermaid, double gold counterspell, and then a growth tile with Morally Gray. 3856 crit. I have like 1,000 crit on this person. This match is insane. We get a Bedlam during the boss round, the death wave, that is pretty hilarious. I won't spoil it. I mean, I guess you could skip ahead if you really want to, but yeah. I think this is pretty boring until about Death Wave, so I'm going to speed through this. You can kind of see the setup process here. My setup process is super easy. I literally sit on 3 Spirit Masters, and at which point I realized that I should probably be building more. But this the Witch in the center was just too good to pass up. At which point then I realized that I could set up 4, and then I realized that I can't set up 4 because I need a ditch tile for my growth tile. And so then I start using the one to the Witch's right. And then that's it. And I basically just sit on this. I build Witch stacks. All of my Scrapper hits, I'm hoping to hit the Knight statues and the Witch, obviously. And then I'm just sitting here building growth tiles. That's it. It's not difficult. This is probably the easiest setup process I've ever had. I omitted trying to. I should be getting rid of the 2 Scrappers, where on the opposite diagonals I'm running Sharpen Spear. So I should be getting rid of the Scrappers on the other 2 diagonals so I can start building double stacks. But what ends up happening is I end up building stacks anyway because I'm summoning in on the right side of the screen. But I just need you to understand that I have 1,000 crit on this person. This person almost beats me. I do a couple of, like, where a boss would come out, but I didn't save mana, and so some bosses, like, catch me with my pants down, essentially. That's exactly how it feels. And you have to have that activation on your bosses when you're playing Spirit Master, because your storm power, stone power is your bread and butter. It's how you're doing all of your damage. You do not have the base damage, and all of your damage is literally coming from stone power, but stone power only activates if you do an activation. And so if you forget to do an activation, or if you don't have the mana to do an activation, it doesn't have to be a high level mana. It's obviously better towards the latter game when it is like 500, 1,000, 2,000, when it's in that range, once you start going into the death waves. But essentially you just have to do an activation. You could be on 2,000 mana as your activation, and if you don't have the 2,000 mana, you will just die. I'm gonna speed through this again and get to death waves, because essentially that's basically when this becomes interesting. There we go. I just want you to know, like, how good a Banshee deck is. He has sub 4K crit. He has like 3820. I want to say he has a 3820 crit. I have a 4980 crit. And he's doing this amount of damage. Being able to stun the boss for that long in order for you to have extra time to kill it. Being able to also, at the same time, do wave damage, while, you know, now that Death Wave is a thing, is huge. It's just invest into Banshee, is what I'm trying to say with this entire video. I'm just saying, this is why I always say, pick Banshee. If you want to invest in a singular, like, unit, if it's not going to be an event unit, if you don't want to invest into a Bard, or into a Riding Hood, or into a Genie, invest into a Banshee. You will then use Banshee, or you have the option to then use Banshee as a support card. And obviously Banshee is a very good support card, with the Banshee's Wail and the wave damage. You're not going to get the wave damage that a Earth Elemental Banshee deck will get if you just slot it in as a support card, but it's some amount of wave damage, and some amount of wave damage is better than no wave damage. Most of the Banshee damage is coming from the stacks of the Earth Elemental stacks. The Enchant Sword stacks are obviously also a big thing, and the 10 stacks of Banshees are obviously also a thing as well. But it just does so much damage. And being able to neutralize bosses like this... did that Bedlam already happen? Did that Bedlam thing already happen? It was hilarious. It must have already happened. Or does it happen here? Maybe it already happened. I don't know. I just thought the Bedlam thing was really funny. It switched 2 of my level 7s, and then I was just able to copy... Oh, is it here? No. I think it already happened. Yeah, it switched 2 of my level 7 Spirit Masters into level 7 Harlequins, and I was just able to copy my other level 7 Spirit Master. I could have died there, and he would have won. And that's all basically because I didn't have an activation. And he would have won with 1,000 less crit. Me being stupid and a Banshee deck being able to go for that long is just crazy. Invest into Banshee. If you are starting a new account, or if you don't have any investment into most of your legendaries and you are looking for something to invest into, Banshee. Something easy that's not an event unit, Banshee. It's very good.